Hey my friends, tired of having a cluttered garage? Well, this FLEXIMOUNTS GL1 garage lift, it gives you 4 feet by 4 feet of storage. It conveniently hoists up to your ceiling, so you don't have to worry about all these boxes and everything getting in your way. I'm going to show you how to set it up. All right, well, the first thing I did was put in this cardboard template. Just kind of tape that to your ceiling. Make sure that you're following the instructions and it is lined up with the studs. Fortunately, my studs were 48 inches on center, so it was perfect. Then I just marked out the brackets where my drill holes would be. Once I get those all set up there, I actually just ran a chalk line from the center of my studs to one end to the other, so I would have that nice blue line down the middle so I would know where to mark these. So upon marking the little holes there for your brackets, then you take the screws with the washer on there and you screw those right into your bolts after you drill our holes. So here I am drilling the holes there. And yeah, went in nicely. Make sure you get the center of the stud. You don't want to be off to the side or anything like that. So this has to be right in the center. So if you're drilling in there and it feels not like solid wood, maybe like it's missing or something, then just double check to make sure this is correct. So you don't want one side like falling out. So if these go directly into the studs, they're going to hold a lot of weight. So I just drilled those right in there, and then we're good to go. Then we could mount our brackets. So brackets, just take your the supplied screws with the washer and screw those into the holes that you just drilled. These are super solid, like nice steel, heavy duty brackets. You can tell they got a lot of strength to them. I hung off of one of them and it held me no problem. So this is quite strong. You don't really have to worry about loading stuff up on your shelf. So this is once the install was done on these, just went ahead and wrapped up all of them. It was pretty easy. Then you go ahead and just peel off your little cardboard template. Got all my brackets screwed in there nicely. And then fortunately the tape wasn't too strong. I was just able to pull it off the ceiling here. And we were good to go. Yeah, I think it took me, wasn't too long of an install, about an hour and a half. If you have some help, definitely I recommend some help, because you're climbing up and down on ladders and stuff and trying to hold that cardboard on there while you're taping, and it's just not very easy. Once that's down, you just take the main beam there and slide it into your brackets. So it is adjustable. It has a little screws on there. You just kind of loosen them up, slide one end in, and then slide the other end out. And then it has little screw holes, little screws in the middle, and you just tighten them up so that it is good. I already got the cables coming out of there. So when you're lining them up, when you're feeding them through the pulley here on the other side, just make sure they're not crossed over. So you want, if it's where it's coming out of the beam there, you want it to be not, you don't want your cables to be twisted or anything like that, or else it's going to mess up a little bit when you're doing that. So just make sure they're straight and there's not any amount of twisting going on there. So just feed your front ones through your front pulley, and then do the same thing for the other ones. Now you assemble the screen here, just kind of lay it out, and that goes on top of the metal bars there, and then you have the little screws with the hook on them that just goes over the top of the metal frame there. So that holds that, and then you just attach your, when you do this, also make sure that your the wire frame isn't going over the holes and the ends. You want them in the middle, because your bolts for your pulleys go into the ends of each one. So these, you just slide them through, and you got put 2 nuts on the bottom. Once again, make sure that your wires aren't twisted up when you do this, or it's just going to kind of mess up everything. So you don't want, though, definitely don't want your cables to be twisted. So once you get one nut on there, and then you screw the other one on there. Just these are like kind of like lock washers, or they have the plastic in them, so they don't really come undone by themselves. But then you have the double one, so you screw it in on itself and tighten it in so it holds. This can be adjusted a little bit so it's more level. Mine wasn't perfectly level, but I wasn't really worried about it. It's pretty close. So yeah, once you screw all those on, And then you're pretty much good to go. And this thing is like, yeah, it's really solid, well built, and just very convenient. So once got all that done, the final step basically is to just get our little handle here. Just takes a little screw there with an Allen key that's provided. Just screw that into the end. Nice solid little handle here. And tighten that up. Then basically there's a little locking mechanism. You can grab your hook there and pull that away. And that disengages that too. Or you can and when you're done, you can push that into the way, kind of lock it in place if you need to. So once you pull that out of the way, just get your hook in there. And then you can twist away and lower and raise it. It doesn't really take a lot of effort at all. All right, my friends, so final thoughts on this lift GL1. So instead of having to climb up on a dangerous ladder to get this stuff down, I can just lower it down here, get whatever boxes I need or put them on there, and then just simply get them up out of the way just with this. So it's 4x4 as mentioned, and it has just a lot of room on there. I was able to declutter a lot of my shelves and stuff and just put this up and out of the way. If you're in your garage or whatever, just a lot of wasted space. And I like how far this comes down. You don't have to climb up on a dangerous ladder. Maybe you're, don't take the risk of falling off that with a heavy box. You can just lower this down and then just grab whatever you need off or put it back on, even if it's heavy. This thing holds up to 300 pounds. Super solid. Yeah, the install wasn't too bad. If I had another helper, it took me a little over an hour by myself. By myself now, I think I could do it probably about half that. And if I had someone to help me out, probably about 20 minutes. So I do recommend having someone else to help you. But this garage shelf is just really nice, super convenient. This is not difficult to do. It just takes a little bit of time. And we just get that up to the ceiling. So I like how it's fully adjustable on the height. So if I have bigger boxes on here, or maybe have a little bit taller ceiling, probably a 10-foot ceiling would be just fine since this goes down quite a bit. See, it's super quiet. I like how it's just very convenient, out of the way, and it just does a really nice job here. So it holds up to 300 pounds. I have all this on there right now. And still holds me too. So no problem there. This thing, I'm sure it would hold more than 300 pounds. Those lag bolts are all going right into the studs there. I mean, I hung from just one of the brackets by itself. So this thing is really burly. I really like it. It was just a really nice way to declutter my garage and get all these boxes and everything up and out of the way, clear up your floor space. Maybe you have bikes or something you're putting there. So yeah. Just crank this up to the ceiling here, and we're about good. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of a little workout right here too. It's kind of nice. But like I said, not difficult. All right, let's do about there. What you want to do is just line this up so it's right about there. You take the hook out, and then you just push this little safety thing in the way there. And I just put my hook up and out of the way over here on the shelf. And there we go, super convenient, out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. I used to have all these boxes all over the place, and now they're up out of the way, so I could probably even park my car in here now. Thanks so much for watching this review, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.